Okay, so what I want to do now is make it so when we create an idea, the username that we enter gets saved to local storage. I also want to add some basic validation. Right now, if I try to submit with nothing here, it doesn't let me submit, which is good. If we look in the back end here, you'll see idea validation failed. And the reason for that is because in the back end, when we set up our model, so right here, we made text required, so it's not letting us submit, but we want to have some front end validation as well. So let's jump into idea form, and let's see, we're going to go into handle submit, and I just want to check for all the fields. So this one, I'm just going to copy that, and let's say if not, and then the text value, or if not, then the tag value, or if not, the username value. Okay, so if none of those, then let's just do an alert. And let's say, please enter all fields. Okay, so now if I try to submit, now it lets me know I need to enter all fields. So as far as the username goes, this is going to be pretty simple. All we have to do is, let's go after the validation. Actually, let's return from that as well. So after the validation, we're going to, let's say, save user to local storage. And we're just going to say local storage dot get item, not get item, set item. And we're going to set username is going to be the key, and the value is going to be this, which is the username value. So we'll go ahead and pass that in. So that'll save the user. Then I want it to show up in the input here, but I want it to show up right away. I don't want to have to refresh the page. So that means we have to render the form again. So down at the bottom here, right after we clear the fields, let's say this dot render, which will render the form again. And then to display the user, we're going to go down to the template here where we have our form, and let's go into the user input and add a value. And I'm going to check for the username first. So we'll say, I'm going to use a ternary. So for value, we'll do local storage dot get item username, and then we'll put a ternary, and we'll say if that's there, then we want to use that. So local storage dot get item username. Else, then this will just be an empty string. So that should do it. Let's try it out. So I'm just going to add in here. Actually, I want to delete this one. So if you obviously, we don't have delete functionality yet, but if you installed Compass and connected through Compass and you go to your menu and then view reload data, it'll give you the latest ideas that we have. So I'm going to delete this last one here. And then if I reload my page, that should be gone. Now I'm going to create a new one. And for the user, I'll just say Brad. Let's say this is an idea. Tag, say business, submit. Okay, so it gets added, and now if I go and I try to add a new one, now my username is pre-filled with Brad because that's what I have in local storage. If I open up my DevTools and I go to my application tab here and we go to local storage, you'll see username Brad. All right, and it's typical to have user data in local storage. Usually the user ID, the username, obviously not the password or any sensitive data, but stuff like that. All right, so yeah, now we're ready to do the delete, and we're going to edit the back end just a little bit for the delete route because I want the person to have to send the username of the idea they're deleting in order to not only delete it, but to actually see the X button. So if I didn't create this, like I didn't create this idea, I don't even want the X button to show. So we're going to get into that next.